Have you ever felt that there's something incredibly amazing waiting for you out there? I'm here to tell you that in fact, there are many wonderful places waiting for you out there. National parks are the perfect vacation destination because of their unparalleled national beauty, abundance of wildlife, and rich history. According to author Micah Isaac, on his book Opinions Throughout History, published in 2009 by Grey House Publishing, the park system grew out of combining efforts to preserve resources and landscapes for recreational hunting with emerging interest in natural play and recreation. The national parks in the United States are amongst the most beautiful all over the world. They are home to hundreds of kinds of animals who live freely in their natural habitat. Behind every national park, there is rich history and incredible facts that makes them incredibly interesting. National parks possess characteristics that are nearly impossible to find in a big city. In small towns or big cities, all the things that you see were at some point planned to be made by a person, usually by an engineer or an architect. As time goes by, the things that we normally see, like houses, buildings, even our not local parks and rivers, start to look less interesting over time. We shouldn't settle there. We need to travel and explore the wonders that the natural world has, especially the breathtaking national parks that our country has to offer. According to author Ian White on his book Environmental History and Global Change, published in 2013 by Ivy Torres, the World Conservation Union designates national parks as natural scenic areas of national and international importance for scientific, educational, and recreational use. Relatively large areas where ecosystems have been little altered by human activity. The Grand Canyon is the perfect example of a large expansion of land with exotic and unusual shapes that have turned it into a national and international attraction. It is the largest canyon in the United States and was established in 1919, located in Arizona. Scientists from UNESCO say that it started forming 6 million years ago due to geological activity and erosion by the Colorado River. Visiting the national parks is also the perfect time to interact with animals in their natural habitat. According to Professor Brian Black in his article for the American Encyclopedia, published in 2018 by Johns Hopkins University Press, the travelers were overwhelmed by the majesty that they beheld. They were once overcome by its attraction and by its potential for development. Referring to the early explorers and travelers when they first encountered what we now know as Yellowstone National Park, Professor Black also points out that they refrained from making any major construction in the area because, as he says, such economic development though could exploit all that make that site spectacular. That included giant and colorful hot springs, grizzly bears, and bison herds, besides a lot more. Yellowstone, like other national parks, is home to thousands of wild animals. According to author Donald Swain in his article The New Encyclopedia for the American West, published in 1998 by Yale University, even with 3 million visitors annually, relatively few people get into the backcountry where grizzly bears and black bears, deer, moose, elk, and buffalo thrive. He also said that more than 200 species of birds live in the park as well. Every national park has something that distinguishes one from the other, from volcanic soil to crystal looking glaciers, but they also have memorable history. Redwood National Park, located in California, is home to the tallest trees in the world. According to a 2017 article from the Encyclopedia Britannica, the Redwood National Parks preserves virgin groves of ancient redwood trees, including the world's tallest, 367 feet tall. That's taller than the Statue of Liberty, which stands at 305 feet tall. On top of that, Redwood National Park is only minutes away from the Pacific shore, making it an interesting place for people who love going to the beach. According to another article from the Encyclopedia Britannica in 2017, the park was set aside in 1890 to protect groves of big trees that are amongst the largest and oldest living things. The article also says that the largest tree in the park is thought to be 2,300 to 2,700 years old. To put it into context, some of these trees were already here by the time that Jesus Christ walked on earth, based on Christian religion. From professional experience, I can say that when you are standing in front of these giant and beautiful trees, you develop a stronger connection with nature. In conclusion, national parks are some of the most beautiful things that previous generations passed on to us. One of the individuals that it's highlighted a lot in history is former President Theodore Roosevelt, who fought hard to preserve, create some of the most beautiful national parks that we now have. According to a 2002 article from Professor Eric Flankland for the International Encyclopedia of Environmental Politics, published by Routledge, he doubled the number of national parks to 10, preserved over 150 million acres of national forest land, and utilized the 1906 Antiquities Act to preserve 18 national monuments, including the Grand Canyon. In North Dakota, there is a national park named after Theodore Roosevelt, and in South Dakota, there is a giant carved sculpture of him in Mount Rushmore. I believe that we are fortunate to now have 58 national parks in the United States, and hundreds of beautiful state parks like the Niagara Falls, located in Buffalo, New York. Therefore, I'd like to encourage everyone for their next vacation adventure to go and explore at least one national park. There are many choices to pick from, but that's the best part, because each one of them has something unique for you to enjoy and cherish. Thank you.